All right, Lauren, I want to double down on something that we talked about probably a couple months ago. A couple months ago, when right before R-Truth got hurt, I had talked about the underutilization of R-Truth. I've always felt that, and Triple H seems to get it because it looks like he's in the mix right now, but I've always felt like R-Truth was underutilized. At one time, back in the day, R-Truth was a legitimate, serious wrestler. He was good at he was amazing at what he did, and he was legitimately one of the fan favorites. Now he's been relegated to kind of a comedic role. Dude's like 50 years old. I don't think he's ever looked better. Him and Randy Orton got injured, went away, found some weight room in the middle of nowhere, and both came back jacked as fuck and ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, R-Truth looks as good as he looked 10 years ago. But here's the question. This is the question. I want to double down on this. Do you think there's any wrestling fan in the world that would be upset right now if R-Truth won the World Heavyweight Championship?
That would be mad if he won?
Yeah.
So the thing about R-Truth is that, like, he's such a freaking likable guy. Like, you're kind of an asshole if you hate him type of thing. And I don't think that anybody would be mad. And I don't foresee him having it for a long time, but I could see it being like a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe he retires after it or something.
No, but he doesn't have to. And this is all hypothetical, but this is why I say that.
Why?
This is why I say that. Because anybody else right now, go down the list, start at the top, go to the bottom. Any other person wins a title right now, half the people are going to be happy about it. There's going to be half the people that are upset about it, right? Cody Rhodes wins a title. There's going to be people who are pissed off, right? Mm-hmm. Dominic Mysterio wins a title. There's going to be people who are pissed off. Mm-hmm. R-Truth wins a title. I don't know where that group is. I don't know where the group of fans are that are going to be pissed off about this. And I think it comes from three things. I think it comes from history, the amount of work he's put into the business. I think it comes from, like you said, likability. He's just genuinely liked. But I think the third thing that is not recognized as often is he has every skill set and talent that you want a world champion to have. There's not a hole in R-Truth's game. There's nothing missing. You can pick almost every other wrestler in the business, and I can tell you flaws about that wrestler. You bring me R-Truth, and I can't tell you why he's not a world champion. He's good enough in the ring. He's by far, I think we get lost in this idea that he's joking all the time, but who's fucking better than R-Truth on a microphone? Like, legitimately, he is always in the pocket. He's always in the pocket. This shit that he did on Monday Night Raw, this past tag team match he did on Monday Night Raw, where he literally tag teamed with The Miz while believing he was double crossing The Miz. He still thought he was part of Judgment Day. That shit can't be done by anybody else. There's nobody else witty enough to do that shit. Nobody else enough talented to do that. The closest thing to R-Truth was Santino Marella. I don't think you ever saw Santino. He's the one who did the Cobra.
I thought you were going to do one of these.
No, he used to do a Cobra, and Santino was on that same level, but I believe R-Truth is even a step above. And that's why I said, I don't think there would be one person in the wrestling world that would be upset if R-Truth won a world championship right now. Let's say, let's book it in the most stupidest fashion, right? Let's say R-Truth sneaks into the Judgment Day locker room and takes the briefcase, goes out, cashes in, beats Seth Rollins, wins the title. The next day, I think the wrestling world is on fire. I think they're excited. I think everybody's happy.
The briefcase, is it whoever turns it in, or do you have to be the Money in the Bank
This
champion?
is wrestling, Laura. This is wrestling.
You make up the rules.
R-Truth makes up the rules.
It is true, yeah.
What if he's not really champion? What if he's so fucking delusional
that he just
carrying around the belt and Seth Rollins is just laughing about it because what does he give a shit? And Damien Priest is pissed off, right? Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways you could, but nobody would be mad. Not one fan. If Dominic Mysterio did the same thing, we'd bitch and complain. This is bullshit. And there's no logic in what's going on.
He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, and I'd be the loudest about it. This is bullshit. He's not ready. This is JD McDonough, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like out of everybody on the roster, R-Truth is that guy. Even LA Knight. LA Knight's getting these huge reactions from crowds, right? But I still think there's a subset of fans who go, he can't wrestle. He's not as good as you think. He's not as good on the microphone as you think he is. I just really think with R-Truth
I agree with you.
that there's no issue.